So this is recorded or?
It's going to be streamed. YouTube. The other one, this is for the streaming. No, the guy just...
100%. Let me know when the party starts then.
Most of it went through already.
Huh?
Most of it went through already.
It's going to be streamed.
Mark, we can still hear you.
There is no off button.
It's good to make a hit on the first day. It's okay.
I think, yeah, we start?
Yes, I think so.
Okay.
All right, everybody. Good afternoon. Welcome to the virtual fireside chat here. My name is Rakesh. I'm the lead of performance management at Pascal Data Centers. It's a real pleasure to be here with this very esteemed panel. We're going to ask you questions in a moment. So why don't we start off with just a few introductions. I think we'll go to the middle first. And we have Tim Boat, our Senior Director of Partnership and Growth at Casa. Maybe you could give everybody a 1-minute introduction.
Hello, everybody. I'm Tin Bot from Khazna Data Centers. My responsibility in Khazna is going international with our business. We've announced a few geographies, and hopefully in the near future we'll announce more. And we'll spread basically our company and leverage our group strength in going outside our UAE borders. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Mark, I'm looking right at you, so maybe you can go next. So we have Mark Dominic, Regional Director of Enterprise at NVIDIA.
Thank you for inviting me. Actually, I'm 21 years in the company now. I started on the gaming side. We were a $3 billion company with 30% market share. When I look back, the only thing I can be very proud of NVIDIA is that we really know how to build the $0 billion market. So we know how to build new markets that didn't exist before. That's why today we have this leading position on gaming, on AI, data center space. It's good to be here. Thank you.
Great, thank you so much. And finally, we have Edmondo Lotti. The title has changed a little bit. It's not Chief Strategy Officer, but I think Edmondo will tell us all about that.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Rakesh. And so, yeah, right now I'm Chief Growth Officer, actually. And the reason is that my responsibility now is to develop our AI cloud internationally. And obviously we work in partnership with Kajna and NVIDIA as part of our strategy to deploy internationally our AI factories that are going to be the topic of today.
Excellent, thank you so much. So please, guys, welcome me in joining our panelists with your warm smiles and claps.
Thank you.
All right, so the first topic is about defining AI factories of the future. Timbo, I'm going to come to you. Can you describe for us the concept of AI factories of the future?
AI factory is a new concept, as Mark mentioned. This is used to be $0 industry. It's growing. AI factory is basically defining intelligence as a product, something you can get as you get garments, as you get cars, appliances, etc. Now it's a product, and there are big factories needs to be built and operated to develop those products for the public. And actually the whole concept is, I think it was triggered by Jensen, the CEO of NVIDIA, to start with, and I'm sure Mark can elaborate on that.
Yes, absolutely. Mark, can you tell us about NVIDIA's contributions in this space?
I cannot almost hear you, but I go. Maybe for starting on the iFactory concept, I compare this with the first industrial revolution. Right? I think iFactories today, energy, first industrial revolution, it's a very close meaning because it was extremely impactful on society. You see, by then you had to put water inside of a factory, you had to heat this water at high temperature, produce the steam and then the energy. The factory is very simple. You get a huge amount of data, and then as an outcome you have intelligence. But maybe one step back on this, we should be looking at what we have done previously in order to go with that AI factory concept. And is that we had to create something that never existed before. And we had to produce this thing in a very high volume. And we had to utilize tools that never existed before. That's why we created GPUs. After the GPU is created, this new thing that had to be produced, it had to be produced, it produced tokens, right? Those tokens were produced by the first time. And we had to use a way to produce those tokens and train those tokens in a new format of data center. That's why the concept of AI factories. As I mentioned, the factory you get data intelligence out. In some phase that actually is extremely complex. You have to have a huge amount of hardware, that means GPUs, networking and so on. And also a huge amount of software. All those things together, you can make it work. But the most important actually of the factory is that for the first time, nations and governments can produce intelligence at scale. So I think that's the key factor here.
Right, thank you, Mark. So, Edmondo, from your perspective, can you highlight how Core 42s enables training AI models, models that come to mind, GITEX, for example?
Okay.
Cerebrus?
Yeah, sure. Let's talk in general about the AI factories and how they help us in building better models. So in the AI factory, as Mark was saying, you have the factory of the new industrial revolution. What you produce as a factory is a commodity. The commodity that comes out is not anymore a car. The commodity that comes out is artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is the commodity that you are using. And what we do at Core 42 is that we enable the utilization of that factory in order to produce the commodity. We operate the data centers that Hajna is deploying for us. We put in the infrastructure, we work with NVIDIA to make sure that we have the entire platform from the hardware to the software ready to deliver the new commodity. And I like this concept in particular of AI, artificial intelligence being considered a commodity because it's a commodity that you put at usage in all the different use cases, and this is how the commodity is transforming even our way of living.
Great, thank you for those fascinating insights. So we learned something about AI factories here. Well, now I think it'd be good to learn a little bit more about, I think, Hajna's role in building and operating the AI hyperscale data center. So Timbo, maybe you can detail something around the expertise and experience in constructing and managing these facilities.
Hajna is, of course, wholesale hyperscaler data center builder, very dominant in the UAE, and we are expanding outside. One of the edge elements we have as Hajna being part of a bigger group like G42 and the breadth of partnership is having access. So we've been working, for example, for almost now 9 months with NVIDIA on building the future data center for the new Blackwell GB200s. That access does not exist for others. So this is a big advantage for us through our group, through the partnership and ecosystem we have. Today, if you visit our stand, you will see we are transiting to the liquid cooling concept. Very shortly, you will hear very good news on our new capacity is going to be launched. We will be launching the biggest single building data center probably in the greater region, in excess of 100 megawatt, all liquid cooling, with plans to do much more in the course of the next 1 or 2 quarters. We want to be on the forefront. We are lucky to be part of the UAE story. UAE commitment to the AI and enablement is helping us all to advance the AI agenda. And we play a critical role. We are kind of the foundation. We are the building where cooling, UPS, power, etc. needs to be provided in a secure manner. To start building the stack, Edmondo will do on the back of the amazing technology, NVIDIA, and of course you have other players like AMD, Qualcomm on the inferencing side also stepping up and feeding the demand in the market. We are very optimistic. I think we have a great 10 years at least ahead of us, probably more, and it will be very transformative in our lifetime. It's a great time to be around.
Thank you, Tim. Mark, we had a little bit there from Tim Burt on NVIDIA's contribution in this space. Can you provide some insights in how NVIDIA is enabling organizations to harness AI even without those substantial investments?
Sorry, I can hear my echo now.
Yes.
So it's actually a very good question. I would say why. Maybe I have to mention two things. One is going to be based on hardware, maybe the other one on software. Based on hardware, 10 years ago, NVIDIA had to completely change the dynamic of the industry, right? We say, okay, that's enough. Now let's start from scratch. This $0 billion market that we are building. When we do that, we change the concept of supercomputing and HPC. And I will give you an example, right? So if you see $10 million give you roughly 960 CPU servers with the energy consumption of 11 gigawatts hour. And you get as an outcome, like this production outcome of one LLM. If we get this LLM and we put it on 2 GPU servers, it's going to cost you $400,000. And it's going to consume 0.1 gigawatts hour. Now we will make it even bigger. If you take the $10 million, you can buy the 48 servers and have only 3.2 gigawatts hour of energy consumption. That means that we completely changed the game, right? Back to Timbo, Hassan is doing an amazing job, and I will mention this in one of my use cases later. But playing ahead of technology and really understanding the game, it's a big differentiator for leaders. And with G42 and Hasna, we have a very strong partnership.
Wonderful. I wonder, with regards to Core42's AI offerings, can you provide some examples of successful case studies where Core42's AI tools have transformed industries such as healthcare, education, and energy, for example?
Sure. So several areas. I mean, you mentioned earlier JACE, for instance. JACE is a native Arabic language model, and in the development of large language models, by the way, JACE has also an extension in the Hindi language. By having these large language models that are trained, I would say designed and developed on the basis of the Arabic content, and that are not simply a translation of other models that have been built basically on a corpus of data that is, I would say, pretty much the English-based content. Having this type of models enables, for instance, to have more effective models in all segments where you're facing, let's say, the Arabic community. And this can be as simple as people interacting with the healthcare systems, where you can build, for instance, chatbots that are not just speaking Arabic, but they also act as an Arabic native speaker. This applies to the education in the same way, where, let's say, if you ask JACE to write a poem in Arabic, he will write a poem based on the Arabic literature, not on the English literature, right? So this brings it's called sovereign concept, but I would say it's more a way of protecting a cultural environment, and that affects the interaction of the larger Arabic community with in anything they do, as I said. So can be as simple as from the chatbots, right, or the natural interaction, but also in the world of healthcare, for instance, specifically. Another company that is still part of G42 has built a genomics LLM. So this is built on the back of the genomics program that has been run here in the UAE, and is intended to, I don't like to use the word revolutionize, but let's say to improve significantly the way that we can get access to precision medicine and medical treatments. So these are all simple examples, but show the consistency of an agenda of a country that has decided to build on AI the success for the future.
Thank you so much. Now, I'd like to shift gears a little bit societal benefits of accessible AI. Edmundo, maybe I can stick with you on the theme of promoting AI for good. Can you highlight Core 42's commitment of using AI for social good through its Compass initiative, for example?
Absolutely. So, as I said, Core 42 basically enables AI in the sense that provides the platform on which the commodity that I spoke about can be delivered. So, there are several elements that are particularly important. First of all, we want to make sure that AI is handled responsibly. Right? We want to make sure about a few things, right? And this falls under the umbrella of responsible AI. We want to make sure that AI, first of all, is predictable. Second, that it does provide the answers that we expect and doesn't derail, is reliable. And all these elements then are part of a specific sensitivity and specific approach that you have to build for your context. That's why, in this case, as G42, we have announced an initiative for responsible AI, where we have partnered with Microsoft and the AI/ITC Council to build 2 centers that will focus on developing best practices on using AI responsibly. This is a real strategic element because we heard, particularly in the past, about LLMs providing very weird answers, hallucinations, LLMs lying even, right? In order to provide an answer, providing a false answer. They need to be addressed to make sure that AI can effectively benefit people. I give another example, as I was mentioning Jace. You build an Arabic LLM, you build in also the sensitivity of a specific culture, right? There are cultural elements that are different, and so you want to make sure that the LLM that you build for the Arabic world doesn't come with something that is considered wrong or unacceptable for multiple reasons in the Arabic culture. And as such, you need to build the team of experts, and that's why we have announced these 2 centers that are being developed here in the UAE with the contribution of G42 and also leveraging what Microsoft is also doing in this case.
Wonderful. Thank you for that. Thank you for that insight. So, Mark, sticking on the topic of promoting AI for good, can you give us some examples of how AI is transforming industries and improving lives?
Yeah, I think maybe the first one, because we are doing something with Core 42 that is probably was announced, which is called Earth 2. We just developed something with Omniverse, our own technology. And the good thing of this is that weather forecasting will be 1,000 times faster and 3,000 times more energy efficient. So this is one that I'm very glad to share. Maybe Mondo can develop more of this. The other one is very close to video, and this is on healthcare. So everything that is related to healthcare is very close to us. The cardiovascular disease is one of the biggest cases of global death, and we're very happy to work very close around the globe on detecting those things and preventing. So I would say those 2 things it's very impactful.
Great, wonderful. Thank you for that.
On this, if you allow me, there is very important. We will have bad AI, and governance is to root that out. But the only way to root bad AI is a stronger good AI. So this governance framework Edmundo touched base on is extremely important because we can be duped by AI the way it's working today, and we need the good AI to be stronger, well organized to protect us. Protecting us in the future will also require reliance on AI, and that is being built on the proper foundations.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So I hope you're all enjoying the discussion so far as we head into the tail end of the discussion. I'd like to help us all understand really the collaborative efforts in the digital transformation space. So Edmundo, if I can start with you, can you discuss how Core 42's AI leadership, partnerships with Kasna and NVIDIA, are enabling businesses to future-proof AI infrastructures?
Absolutely, thank you. So I would say our mission is stated in our name, right? We are core. So G42 overall enables AI at all levels, right? The data center part, the infrastructure side, the application, and then we have the companies that specialize, and focus on specific domains, right? The idea is to deliver AI end to end. In the case of Core 42, for instance, we need to make sure that these AI factories that the data centers get built by Hashna are effectively future-proof. And the best way to do that is to work with those who build and create this technology, like NVIDIA. If you think of a lifespan of a data center is what, 20 years?
20 years.
20 years. So 25 years ago, NVIDIA launched the GeForce, the first one, in 99. Unfortunately, I remember because I was there, but that's... So 25 years ago, the GeForce was a chip that you could almost touch, right? Today, the amount of energy that you need to operate these AI factories is massive. And we are designing now data centers that have to be usable over 20 years. Can you even think of what could be in 20 years? It's extremely challenging. So that's why the relationship with the vendors that do create this technology has to be as close as possible. And it's really a collaborative work at its best, because if we as Core 42, we don't have the data centers that enable us to deploy the factories, we cannot fulfill our mandate, which is to provide the capacity for the factories, for the AI. So it really comes as a very, very intimate relationship. And the hope is that we get improvements from technology, and we can keep deploying these factories at large, because the demand is going to be, it is already, but it's going to be massive the moment that each one of us is going to have multiple AI agents assisting us on everything that we do.
Mark, can you highlight future plans in areas of continued collaboration among the group here and in the industry, in the region and beyond?
I think that Edmondo touched it, and also Tim wrote at the beginning, right? For us, to build this capacity is number one priority. If it's not a factory, it's no water, it's no data, it's no intelligence at the end, right? So this is number one priority. And everybody understands this. I have to be honest, I'm 5 years in the region, and globally also is very complex. So I would say that Hashna and Core 42, they have a vision that is not only local, but it's very important globally for us. We work very close. You mentioned 9 months or 1 year maybe, and we're bringing something new that's completely changing the way data centers are built, and it's completely changing everything we got, because it's the biggest leap, right, on technology. And this is because of Blackwell. It's going to be all liquid cooling. Today we're talking already on racks that need a 42 kilowatt rack. We're moving to 130, and then we're moving to 250 in 2-3 years, right? So this is going super fast. So either you fully understand this and embrace it, or you are not going to succeed. And that's a game that size and speed really matters, and they fully understand this. That's why I would say the relationship we have with Hashna, it's very close and very unique.
Right. And Timber, as we come towards the end here in closing, can you explain again Hashna, NVIDIA, Core 42? So
Just to, this is a reality example. Blackwell started shipping now in Q4 in this year. We started on the data center design for Blackwell early Q1 this year. And we have an agreed design between us and the technical team in NVIDIA on rolling out 130 kilowatt racks with everything. The blueprint has been discussed in length and done. And this is before even start shipping the servers. This is the relationship we have. If we are ready for the new hardware coming out, it will go into action, it will be used, and people will benefit from it. And the circle will come back again faster and better for everyone. So this relationship, this is again, I stress again, a normal data center company wouldn't have that access, because we are a part of an AI unicorn in the UAE. That helped us to reach out and have these kinds of relationship. That definitely will give us an edge, and you will be hearing very good news down the road from us.
Great. Okay. Thank you, gentlemen. So, ladies and gentlemen, that brings our session to a close here today. Please join me in thanking our panelists, Timbo Aslanuk, Mark Dominic, Edmundo Olochi. Thanks for sharing your insights, and thanks to you all for joining us here today.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.